Hey, Sean, John Worrell with the AP. Hope you had a chance to enjoy some downtime and Thanksgiving with your family.
Appreciate that, John. Same to you.
No, thank you. Just obviously wondering. There's a report out there, and the AP is also reporting that tests did not revealed no tears in Von Miller's knee. Can you confirm that? And is there any other update you have on Von and Dion?
Yeah, Von will not play this week, and we'll just see where it goes from there. And then Dion, we'll see how he does this week as we move forward here one day at a time.
Is Can you quantify how big of a blow it is to to not have Vaughn there for one game or even two games?
Well, he's a good. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer for a reason. That said, we've got to move forward this week, and the person or the people responsible to step in and step up have got to do the job, and that's the way it goes.
I know injuries are part of the game, but does it kind of do you throw your arms up sometimes, given how banged up this team has been through the entire course of the season, with one guy coming in and one guy going down?
Yeah, part of the game. Unfortunately, injuries are a part of the game. Real proud of the guys and the way that they've stepped in and they've stayed resilient through the journey. So real happy with what they've been able to do, and the coaches the same way. There's been no complaining from the coaching staff or anything like that. So real proud of what they've done as well.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, just going off the topic of injuries, and I talked about it a little bit after the game last night, but what did you see from Trey when he was out there after being able to look at the tape? And I guess just your, initial thoughts on his limited amount of work out there after not being out there for a year.
Right, Heather. I thought he looked really strong. He looked really good, moved well, played physical. I think it was a good step in the right direction there.
And then for Tyler to be able to do what he did and come back after that missed extra point and come up clutch for you guys, just what does that say about his mental toughness to be able to bounce back after doing that?
Yeah, I love that. I think it's a great example for all of us and for kids out there, youth athletes, the same way as it is for the rest of our football team here to make a mistake, if you will, and then to be able to reset and have the mental toughness to go back into your process, as he said, and come out and get another opportunity and make the most of it. I think really says a lot about his mental toughness.
And then just one more for me. We talk about injuries, obviously, part of the game, not having Vaughn this week. But how about other guys on the defensive line that were able to step up, especially like Ed Oliver? I mean, it seems like that guy just loves playing on Thanksgiving. Is that, those splash plays and what he's been able to do as his progression throughout his career, is that the kind of performance that you guys expected when you drafted him back in 2019, those kind of games?
Yeah, you could feel him. And I thought at times he was dominant yesterday. You could feel his level of play, his intensity, his emotion. That was fun to watch and great to see. And that shows everyone what he's capable of. And that's the new standard for him. And we look forward to watching that going forward as well.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Coach Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. Welcome back.
Good, Mookie. Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Gutsy win yesterday. I know you loved how your team showed character down the stretch there, but 11 weeks in, how do you feel about the selection and play design of your offense?
Selection, give me more as to what your selection and play design. I'm not really sure.
Selection, at times, or I guess down in distance, more or less.
Play calls by down and distance.
Yeah, and down the distance situations, more or less, of selection is more or less of, certain type of plays that's being called. Say for instance, more or less of what we talked about yesterday of running the ball down the stretch inside the red, from your view of watching tape after the game.
Yeah, I thought we did some good things. We were, I think, 3 for 4 in the red zone. Obviously had the one turnover. We want that one back. The guy made a good play as well. And so got to give him a little bit of credit there too. And always want to be 100% in the red zone. It's important to your point that we've got to be able to run the ball physically in the red zone also. And I thought at times we could have done a better job with that. So we're always continuing to try and improve our football team in the red zone in this case. Me putting them in the right position with the play calls, and as coaches, we always look back and first and foremost look at ourselves and making sure that we're doing the best we can to put them in those positions. So we're not stopping here. We've got to continue to do a lot of work and get some things cleaned up.
Absolutely, Coach, and I do appreciate the answer there. But I know to you, man, fundamentals is law. You preach it, you teach it, man. And since it's bye week, at times, you guys have struggled, and man, you got a lot of dogs on this roster. But we do know there is a doghouse when players isn't performing to those standards. Will there be any changes made if that continues as far as guys out there performing a lack of fundamentals?
Well, it's a results business. It is for all of us, myself included. So. Like Tyler's situation, you want to be able to give players another opportunity and to show that they can reset and come back stronger than they were before. And that's what you look for. I don't believe in every situation is different, but I don't believe in, hey, one and done type of situation. But I just think it's important that you give people opportunities and that they make the most of those opportunities. So we do have guys that have done a good job and stepped in when their number's been called. And so that's part of the journey of a season.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thanks.
Hey, Sean, it's Jay with the Buffalo News. After Vaughn went down yesterday, obviously you guys were kind of facing a numbers crunch there at the position. I know it's early in the week, but do you have any outlook on Greg and both AJ as well in terms of possibility for New England?
Yeah, they're both improving one day at a time this week. We'll see. I'm not going to rule it out. Also not going to say for sure they're both going to be able to play or either one will be able to play, but we'll just take them one day at a time here.
Okay. And then I guess I would throw Mitch Morse into that. Obviously different position, but Mitch as well.
Yeah, same. He's in that same boat. I would say Rousseau, Edmonds, Epinesa, Mitch Morse, same thing. And then Christian Benford was one that wasn't asked about from an injury standpoint, so he'll be week to week at this point.
And obviously that's something that happened in the game yesterday. What is he dealing with?
Yeah, he's got a oblique situation that happened in the game.
Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Sean. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean, thanks for taking a little bit of time here this afternoon.
We out walking the dog. We're out walking the dog.
Yeah, I'm walking the little guy.
All right.
It's kind of our Thanksgiving.
You're multitasking. Good for you, man.
That's right.
I'm along for the ride. This is the Reed
right.
family tradition. Sean McDermott along for the ride in the wagon with the kids.
Well, hey, you guys keep playing this well, and we keep having Thanksgiving games. We're gonna have to do this Fridays. Hey,
Yeah.
Tough enough for any player, to step in after standing on the sidelines watching the entire game, to step in and play the last couple series, let alone a rookie like Kyer Elam, who just kind of was a spectator on as far as the defensive side of the ball goes. How impressed are you with his mental toughness to be able to step in there, get in at cornerback when literally the game's on the line and perform?
Yeah, he did a nice job. He really did. And I think the little bit of time he had when he was resetting with his injury there, offered him an opportunity to kind of see it from a different angle, right? See the game from a different angle, watch practice a little bit, watch games and reset a little bit. So that was good to see him come in and display that amount of mental toughness and get right in there and execute.
That's all I got, Sean. Thank you so much.
Right.
Appreciate
it. See ya.
Hey, Sean, it's Catherine. I had a couple follow-up questions on different guys. For Vaughn first, does he need additional testing? Or when you say we'll see, is it just waiting to see how he responds from here on out?
Yeah, well, just, we're just going to take it 1 week at a time. There will be more testing and whatnot that gets involved. But I'll just keep it at that for now.
Okay. And then I know you've touched on a couple different of the topics on cornerback, but I know you said Trey, that was kind of what you expected last night. How important was it just knowing everything he's been through to get him some of that time, even if it's only a bit of the game, just to start to get back out there in some capacity? Guys spoke about how important it was just to see it. Yeah. That was one of the goals of the game, was to have him out there. And I thought he did a good job, as I mentioned earlier, Catherine. And, if it's a preseason game and you're going through that,
I have more of my eyes on Trey individually and specifically there where I can watch him. In the case of a regular season game, you don't have that, or I don't have that luxury quite as much to be able to just focus on him and how he's playing. So all that being said, I think he did a fantastic job, came out, played well, played physical, played fast, executed the defense, and really executed his 111. Didn't try and do too much. And he came out with a good look in his eye after the game as well in terms of, I think he felt pleased with what he did.
And then obviously if Christian's dealing with an oblique, there will probably still be some rotation there. What does that look like from your end? And how is it, what sense of silver lining is there that you guys have had so many guys rotating opposite Dane this season, whether it's been from injury or rookie experience, that it'll kind of continue, it seems like?
Right. So you develop some experience amongst a couple of young players there with Kyer and Christian in particular, and Dane. Dane's still a young player in his own way. And really starting about this time last year when Trey went down. So we have some options there and some guys that are getting valuable experience, and we'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha.
Cool. I think it was Daryl Johnson who said it on the broadcast a week or two ago about, Tremaine Edmonds and what quarterbacks are thinking about just with his presence on the field, like not making certain kinds of throws. And I'm curious, like how much, I know like you guys have a next man up mentality, but how important is he to what you guys do? And how much have you felt it with him not out there in terms of what quarterbacks have been able to do against your defense with him not out there?
Well, Tremaine's certainly a very good player and one of the big leaders of our defense. And so when he's not out there, you feel that, you miss it. That said, I thought Tyrell Dotson did a good job the prior week, and then AJ stepped in and did a good job in his own right this week. And so we'll see if we can get Tremaine back as we go forward here. And if not, again, Tyrell Dotson, AJ Klein both did, I thought, good jobs for us.
Was it just like old hat with AJ, like getting him back in the room and be like, what was that process like? Because it was a real quick turnaround.
Yeah, it was. He did a good job. There were some plays I know he wants back, but I thought he made some good plays as well. And for the most part, I thought he did a good job leading our defense, getting us in the right defenses and checking the defenses when it needed to be checked.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
Sure.
That's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, guys.